You know what? I'm like I said before, all that yelling and screaming I did on the halftime live stream, I'm not even gonna do it this one. First of all, congratulations to the Vanderbilt Commodores. You guys absolutely deserve this win. I'm happy for you. I mean, literally, I am like I'm not even joking about this. I'm legit happy. I'm genuinely happy for their program. They deserve this win. And honestly, this could be this could be a program defining win, man. This could change the direction of their program. Like, I'm not even joking about this. Like more boosters can be invested. Like, more boosters can be invested on this. They can get better quality players. I know they had recruits come at this game. They can, like, this could be a altering, defining win for this program. And Vanderbilt has been a dumpster fire for ever since James Franklin's left, and even before that, they it was terrible. Vanderbilt absolutely deserved this win. They outplayed us. They outcoached us. I am genuinely happy for Vanderbilt. This was a great win for this program. And quite honestly, they should be 4-1. Like, there's a reason why they beat Virginia Tech. Like, Vanderbilt should be 4-1. They should have beat Missouri, honestly. Like, remember, like, Missouri, again, Missouri got blown out by Texas A&M. But there's they should have won that game against Missouri. But, it is what it is, man. Like, Vanderbilt should be 4-1 at this point. And every game that they've played, they haven't been blown out once. Once they haven't been blown out. So Vanderbilt, they're going to be ranked next week for sure. I don't know if it's going to last. This could be one of those games very similar to like when Ohio State got blown out by Purdue in Iowa, where it's just one of those. It's a trap game. But this was a game where, again, we got outplayed, we got outcoached. There's not even too much for me to say. So congratulations to the Vanderbilt Commodores. Listen, I'm not gonna. If you expect me to yell, I'm not doing it. Sometimes, man, when you make the necessary changes, you make the necessary adjustments in the second half, and you still can't stop them. It is what it is. Like, you gave it everything you got. You gave it everything you got. Your players didn't show up. Whatever it is, what it is. There's nothing for me to say. Vanderbilt's offensive coordinator, whoever's their play caller, he is going to get a head coaching job. Matter of fact, I think my Bills should be looking at that man to become the offensive coordinator, because the wrinkles he was throwing, the RPO concepts, the options, the sweeps, these running backs keep continuing to get underneath, and linebackers missing. It was beautiful offensive football. The play calling today was phenomenal. Like, I can't even really complain. So it is what it is. Congratulations to the Vanderbilt Commodores. You absolutely deserve this win. Now let me get into Alabama. Kane Womack needs to be fired. And listen, I understand he's not going to get fired this season, but he needs to go after this season. And listen, he's a young defensive coordinator. He's a young defensive coordinator. But again, here we go again with the first half, and there it is. The first half goes, and what happens? We're playing honest. We're playing in our base defense. We're playing honest. We're not playing any sort of containment. We're rushing through on the line and sending one extra blitzer. We're not having the corners come down. We're not having the corners kind of come down the flat or coming into the flat, so we can try to go ahead and at least help kind of set the edge tone. We're playing a lot of disguise, cover 0, cover 1, like we did last week. It's the same bull crap that got us killed in the second half against Georgia. The same bull crap that got us killed in the South Florida game with all the motion and the sweeps and those big gashing holes that would come onto there, because South Florida's offensive line would just wash down the defenders. And because of the defense that we were really setting up the play, and we would give up so much cushion, that when you're going against a mobile quarterback that's running, you're going to give up yards. And you can tell Vanderbilt, they studied South Florida's film. They didn't study Georgia's film. I can guarantee you they studied South Florida's film, because the same issues we had against South Florida's quarterback were the exact same issues that we had against Vanderbilt, which means that we made zero sort of adjustments going into this game to stop a mobile quarterback like what Vanderbilt had. Because the amount of times that dude was able to get outside, contain, and it wasn't even really contained, because they're not playing contained. The amount of times he was rushing and getting up to the outside, creating second chance opportunities, was appalling to me. And it wasn't until it was appalling to me. And you can tell that Alabama had to go to plan B, because they wanted to play in their base defense, but instead, they didn't figure this shit out somehow until the second half, where they decided to say, you know what? We'll bring the safeties down. We'll bring the linebackers down. We'll start to kind of stack the box a little bit. But when that happens, we're not playing the edge. And then even if you, and we're not playing the edge. And so Vanderbilt would counter it by just going to the edge. And then we would counter by playing a spy, going into more zone, by going into more zone. And then Vanderbilt would destroy us in the interior. It was just like Vanderbilt, as soon as they got a grip of what Alabama wanted to do, Bama tried to make the adjustment. Vanderbilt made the adjustment. Bama tried to make the adjustment. Vanderbilt tried to make the adjustment. But the difference is Vanderbilt counterpunched every single time successfully. And the funny part is, and I'm going to continue to say this, Vanderbilt should have scored 50 points. And that's not even an over exaggeration. They should have scored 50 points. The only time Vanderbilt didn't score was when they killed themselves. A drop pass, a holding call, a holding call happened, which instead of being 3rd and short in the red zone, it set them up to like a 3rd and 12 situation. Vanderbilt killed themselves from scoring 50 in this game. We didn't stop them at all. We only forced them to punt one time, and that was because of an unforced error by themselves. We hardly got any pressure on the quarterback, and when we did, their quarterback just evaded the rush. They ran the football at will. Our interior defensive line got killed, but you know why? Because in that first half, we didn't have our run defenders in the game. We ran light. We didn't have our run defenders in the game. And even in the second half we did a much better job at playing the run because we started running a lot heavier on the defensive line, a lot more heavier packages. But even then, they still got throttled. Keenan got his ass kicked. I don't even know if Otis even played. I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe he did, but even if he did, but if Otis played, it wasn't at 3 tech. It definitely wasn't at 1. Hell, it probably wasn't even at 5 because I didn't even see him play at the 5. He probably played a little bit more, even not wide than that. LT Overton got his ass kicked. Smith got his ass kicked. Like, this defensive line got murdered today. Didn't matter who was in the game. They got murdered. And they kept over pursuing, kept missing open assignments. Keon Sapp once again had a shitty game. Had a shitty game. Your freshman, especially your freshman in the slot, which was Red Morgan, because I don't think Devontae Smith played. I didn't see him at all, at least. But Red Morgan got killed. Red Morgan got killed in the slot. I'm surprised they didn't really go after Xavier Brown more times than I thought they would have gone after. Damani Jackson had an okay game, but that's all that really happened. But yeah, Caden Womack got out coached and we got outplayed. Vanderbilt killed themselves from scoring. They killed themselves from scoring. And this is why I refuse to get upset. I refuse to get mad, because when you get outplayed and you get out coached like this, and you see the red sign, like you saw it. I talked about this last week when I said that that coaching was been terrible. These players are not really being put in the best possible situations. These players are not being put in the best possible situations possible. This is what I kept mentioning. This is what I kept talking about. And because of what everything that's been going on, this is the exact situation that you're going to be getting. We deserve to lose. We deserve to lose. Simple put, point blank, period. And you know what? Can't even get mad at it. I can't. When you talk about this crap last week, and then a bunch of Bama fans kept coming onto my, I'm not gonna cuss, but they kept coming onto my channel, kept going or my videos, and they kept saying I'm being spoiled. I don't know what I'm talking about. Bama will fix this. You're being like, why are you being skeptical when Bama got the win? This is why. And so, honestly, I'm kind of glad this happened, because I wanted to prove to a lot of the Bama fans that came on my channel, and they weren't talking crap necessarily, but basically they were calling me spoiled. This is what I was talking about. I didn't care. Yes, I'm glad we got the win, but I wasn't happy because I knew what was coming. I saw this against South Florida. I saw this a little early when we played Wisconsin. And I saw this against Georgia. And I have been skeptical in every single live stream that I've appeared with Coach Sean. I've been skeptical on every single live stream talking about Bama when I've been around the table sports with Ty Hayes. And even in my own videos, I have been skeptical. Even in the halftime report, I didn't sit up here and say that Bama was going to beat Georgia in the first half, because I said that Georgia could make adjustments. And the question is, I want to see how Bama's coaches respond to when Georgia make their adjustments, because Georgia was the best team at making adjustments. I said that in my halftime live. And how did we respond? Like shit. Now, I'm not going to blame this offense more per se on the offense, because at the end of the day, when you score 35 points should win you any football game. I don't give a crap what it should be. 35 points should win you any football game. But Jalen Milroe fumbling because he couldn't feel the pocket and he was staring down one side. Again, I keep saying this. He's a half-read guy. He's not a full read. He's a half-read guy. He read one half of the field, didn't even move at all in the pocket. He just stood there in the pocket and it was the easiest strip. It was the easiest strip sack you'll ever see. Now, again, it wasn't Milroe's fault that we lost this game, even though he had 2 turnovers, which led to touchdowns. But at the same time, though, Pritchett overextended, which led to the fumble. Jalen Milroe made a bad read because he looked, I think he was the second read that he was going towards. But even then, you don't make that pass, especially when the defender is all over it, because at that point, you're forcing it now. The defender is there. He is there to make a break on the ball. If he's throwing it, he's baiting you to throw it, and you do it anyway because you were confident in your arm ability. But I kept saying this. This DeBoer offense, yes, it's going to make Jalen Milroe better, but it's not going to fix his weaknesses. It's going to hide his weaknesses. And that's exactly what happened in this football game. Like, this was not Jalen Milroe's fault. Matter of fact, the offensive line, I would say they played fairly well with the exception of Pritchett giving up that sack. But again, 2 plays on offense resulted in 14 points. Special teams, and I've never seen this before happen in my life, but 2 players wearing the same jersey decided to be on, I don't even, one of the worst, that's on coaching. That's a full coaching blunder. And that's on your special teams coach for that crap. But all I got to say is, guys, and I'll close this out, what happened? This coaching staff decided to say, you know what? Let's get our full staff on here and let's put down rat traps all throughout Melmore facility because we're not going to buy into the rat poison. Well, guess what? It didn't work. It didn't work. And when I watch Destroying's video, when he toured that Alabama facility and what those players were talking about, the difference between Saban and DeBoer, I'm not even shocked by the result of the loss. Not even shocked at all. Vanderbilt, congratulations. I am extremely happy for your program. I'm not even mad about this. Matter of fact, when this game's over, when I do my live stream with Coach Sean, I'm going to rewatch the game. And matter of fact, I might rewatch the game for the entirety of the night. I rewatched the Georgia game, Bama game, maybe one time, and I couldn't do it anymore because of how mad I was getting watching that. This game, however, when I rewatch it, I won't even be upset. And by the way, guys, because I know there's going to be fans that are going to say it, Oregon fans, Michigan fans, Ole Miss fans, especially you, Tyler, all the fans that Bama hasn't beaten yet, you deserve to troll me. I deserve it. I deserve to get trolled. Bama is a fraudulent football team. They're a fraudulent football team. And until we make changes necessarily for the defensive side of the ball, we're going to lose more of these games. Vanderbilt was a bad matchup. They were a terrible matchup. Mobile quarterbacks, especially going against the 4-2-5 defense, is the weakness for this team. RPO-based offenses is the weakness for this defense. We'll see how this team responds, man. But what do you want me to say? Everything I needed to say about this team, I said last week. It just translated. A lot of you guys didn't believe me when I said this crap was gonna catch up to Bama one day, and it did. The following week, your defense didn't get better. Your defense got worse. And the scary part is Vanderbilt should have scored 50 points in this football game. I'll catch you guys later.